right, we want to welcome everybody to another edition of My Cream podcast. Cream stands for confidence rules everything around me, or coaching rules everything around me, or Christ rules everything around me. Today we have our special guest, Carmesha, all the way from Tallahassee, Florida, Taylor.
Hello.
Carmesha, thank you for blessing us with your presence today.
Absolutely. Thank
Uh,
you.
Anytime, anytime. So we're not going. We're not going to waste the people time. We're going to get into, why we here. And it's to tell your story.
Okay.
Your educational story. It's a lot of people out there right now that are trying to get to that milestone of getting that first degree and that second degree, and I thought it would be interesting to share your story on how you started your educational path and where you are
Okay.
right now.
Okay. Okay.
So first off, you don't mind telling the people a little bit about yourself?
Okay. Like he said, Carmesha Taylor. I'm originally from Quincy, Florida. Born there, raised, moved to Tallahassee when I was about 14, going on 15. At that time, I was pregnant. I was pregnant with my now 22-year-old daughter. Um, I went to Lively. It was a teenage parent program there where I received my high school diploma.
Okay, now let's go back.
Okay.
So 14, moving
hmm
from Quincy to Tallahassee, and
hmm
you pregnant.
Yeah.
Like how was that scary for you?
Oh God. Scary is not even a word. Like terrified. Lost. Anything that you can think of that's just, oh, I can't even put it in words, honestly. But scary is one of them. Absolutely.
Okay. So when you found out you were pregnant, how did you tell your parents?
The story is actually funny. It's funny now. It wasn't funny then. Because I thought I was gonna die. I ain't gonna tell no story. I was so scared. But I told my mom one night. It was one late night. I just told her, I was like, I had school the next morning. I think we had been out on Christmas break or we had just went back to school or something. I can't remember. And I told her I didn't see my menstrual for the month before. I didn't have one. And she was not happy. That's how I told my mom. How I told my dad, I think my dad already knew. Well, I know he knew, but I didn't know that then. He actually just one day, him and my aunt Sherry came and picked me up, and I had called him earlier that day for to pick me up a salad or something from Hungry Howie's, and um he came and picked me. They came and picked me up, and he was like, "You called me earlier," and I was like, "Yeah, I wanted a salad. This," and so he was like, "Okay, come on, take a ride with us." And I was sitting in the back seat, and so he gave me the money to go in to get the salad. And I had never seen my dad so calm, like he wasn't really talking at all. And if anybody know my auntie Sherry, like oh my God, she's a communicator. So she was just talking and everything, but nothing had come up about me being pregnant. So it was like, okay, this is kind of weird, but I'm gonna flow with it. If it don't come up, I'm not saying anything. And so I get my salad and I go back to the truck and I get in the back seat. And so we ride down Jefferson Street in Quincy, and my auntie was like, "So, we heard that we got some information and we wanted to know from you if it's true. And she was like, "Are you pregnant?" So I was like, "No, no, I'm not pregnant." So I'm pleading, "No, no, no, I'm not pregnant." So my daddy comes out and he said, "I believe her." And so Auntie looked back at me and she looked over at him and she said, "She's not telling the truth." And so then we pulls in front of a church and she says,
Oh,
"I'll get out so you can talk to your daddy, but you're not gonna lie to your daddy. Are you pregnant?" And I just broke down and started crying. Like I couldn't, yeah, I am.
wow.
And I went home. I think I just went straight to bed. And it had to be like 6 o'clock in the afternoon. And I just stayed in the bed the rest of the day. But that's how I told my parents.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
So now 14 pregnant, did you what were your dreams before you got pregnant? What were your goals and dreams before you got pregnant?
Before I got pregnant, I always wanted to go off to school. I wanted to leave the area. I did not want to stay in Quincy. And I wanted to be a lawyer. I wanted
Okay.
to be a lawyer. Um, and I don't, in all honesty, I don't know if it was just something that I just said I wanted to be because I want to be a lawyer, but that's what I wanted to be at that time. I was only 14, so yeah.
Okay.
And I wanted to go off to school. I did not want to stay around here.
Now, after you got pregnant, did you
Hmm.
still have the same dreams and goals of being a lawyer?
Honestly, I didn't see it. I didn't see it as being possible. Honestly, um, I really. I'm not gonna say I thought my life was over. That wasn't my thought, but I just felt like that was going to be extremely hard. Like I knew at that point I could not go off to school. Like I knew that was beyond, like something that I would not be able to do because I had a child. So, but I can't say at that time, like being pregnant, I was saying, like, okay, I'm still going to be a lawyer. I can't say that.
Right. Okay. So now, what were what was your path? Because you say you ended up going to Lively and
Hmm.
graduating from there. Was
Hmm.
Lively a regular high school? Was it, a high school for teenage pregnancy?
It was a high school for teenage pregnancy, and it was like a secondary school for other students as well. Like they would leave their high school if they get behind in their credits or whatever, and they would come there and catch up on their credits. So it was
Okay,
like
so
a secondary, yeah.
it was accommodating and all of
Hmm.
that.
Absolutely, it had daycare. Um, I'm trying to think. I want to say they provided everything for the kids while they were there. I can't quite remember. But yeah, it was definitely a big help because my baby was able to go to school with me every day.
That's what I'm talking about. Now,
Yes.
after you graduate from Lively, so
Hmm.
now what's on your mind? What's the direction?
Oh God, I had to grow. I had to grow because after I graduated from Lively, um, honestly, and I can be completely honest here, I did right. Okay, let me back up. I finished with my credits as far as graduation. I mean, as far as 12th grade, like December but before my senior year. I was completely finished. I had all my credits and everything. But in order for me to march with my class, I had to be enrolled in some type of class. So because Lively is a technical school and you can pick up trades and everything, I enrolled in the CNA class. So when I graduated from high school, I was a certified nurse assistant as well. 2 days after graduation, I started TCC in the summer. I was enrolled in summer classes. And I did that for maybe a solid year. Maybe a solid year. But I had what are those classes called?
Prerequisite.
Yes, I had those. And I really didn't get a lot of credit hours to go towards a degree or anything. So by that year mark, I pretty much flunked out, honestly. I flunked out. I was grown at this point. I had my own place. Probably was partying way more than I should have been at the time. Um, I think I was trying to live the life that normal high school students got a chance to live while they was in high school. I just couldn't because I had a baby.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So did when you flunked out, you know, what was your mindset like? Did you ever at that time? Do you like, man, I pick it up in a couple of months?
Yeah. I felt like I would. Like I felt like I was gonna do it, but it just seemed like each time I tried or I attempt, something came up. Like something came up in some form or fashion. Something
Right,
came up.
right.
But I
And
attempt and tried.
and then how many times did you attempt?
Whew, okay. So I'm gonna name the schools that I went to.
Okay.
I went to TCC. I went to University of Phoenix. Then I went to FSCJ. Then from FSCJ, I went to, I think, Kaplan. And I left Kaplan and I went to St. Leo, which is
Now, all these schools, are you getting credits? Are you getting credits,
some of
transferring
them,
credits?
yeah, I was transferring. Some of them I wasn't. Well, I'll say this. All of them except for TCC the very first time because
Mhm.
by the time I finished my undergrad, I was actually enrolled in two schools. I was at TCC. I mean, I was at St. Leo, which was my primary school, but I was going to
Mhm.
TCC, allowing my job to pay for some of the courses that I needed. So yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So let me ask you this. So I just want to recap. Pregnant
Okay.
at 14, moving from Quincy to Tallahassee, go to Lively, graduate Lively with a CNA, and then you
And
go
the
to,
third of my class.
and you was third in your class,
Mhm.
third in your class, then you go to TCC, and you drop out.
Mhm.
Now, the average person would not have like, man, I listen, I'm done with this. Like,
Mhm.
what kept driving you? What was your motivation?
That little girl that kept looking back at me. Um, then I end up having another baby 7 years later and just wanting more for them. Um, but like I told you in the beginning, I had to grow. Like I had to grow in ways that I can't even describe or have words for. And it didn't. I ain't gonna say it didn't help. It did help coming from a family that's, that's educated. I have my sister, I have my brother, um, my aunt, and my grandma. That was always, you got to go to college. You have to go to college. It wasn't even like, it wasn't it's not like it's an option. We
Right.
had to go.
And so let
So
me ask you this: what did you think? You in your position, and what did you think that a college degree would do for you? You and your at this time 2 kids. What do you think the college degree would do for you and your 2 kids?
initially I thought more money initially. Um but as I got older, I realized that it was just it became more of an achievement
Mm,
and something to show my kids that if I can do it, I tell anybody. If I can do it, anybody can do it.
right.
Anybody can do it. And it really became that. Like I have to show them that this is something that can be accomplished. Like you just have to do it. You have to put your mind to it.
Okay, so now you at the point to where let's fast forward a little bit. You're back in school
Hmm.
and you right there at the door.
Hmm.
Let's say you got 1, 2 semesters to go. Let's say one semester, you got one more semester to go. What was your mindset at this point?
My mindset at this point is when I graduated from high school, my baby was she was 4 years old. And I have one semester left in college, and she's a senior in high school.
Mm,
So I'm thinking I could have been did this, but I feel like it was perfect timing. I feel like
perfect
it was
time.
perfect timing because she graduated from high school. She graduated from high school. My youngest graduated from elementary, and I was getting a bachelor's in psychology. And
Wow.
it just, in all honesty, like I wish I would have done it earlier, but the feeling of that feeling, I can't even explain it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So now you got your degree. She
Hmm.
has her degree, the one you've been fighting for all these years. She got her high school diploma.
Hmm.
Was it what was the conversation between you two as far as her advancing her education?
I wanted her to go off to school. I realized that with being a parent, a lot of times, well, for me, I can't say for everybody. For me, things that I did not get a chance to do, I try to get my kids to want to do those things, and they look at me like I'm crazy. But I wanted her to go off to school so bad. I wanted her to go off to school so bad. Um, it wasn't that she never said that she wasn't gonna go to school or anything like that. She just didn't want to go off. And it became like I think because I was pushing a little too hard or I was being a little too hard, it started being like I don't even want to go to no school here. Like I just what like it became that. But then that same talk my grandma had with me, she had it with her, and she ended up enrolling at FAMU.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
FAMU.
Yes.
FAMU Lee. So so she's going to college. Now at this point, is your mindset like, most people when they achieve that big goal that they've been trying to get after, like they relax.
Oh
Did
no.
you
Uh-uh.
relax?
Mm-mm. In fact, my last class in my undergrad was April of 2018. May of 2018, I was enrolled in a master's program at Nova Southeastern University.
Ooh, you ain't listen. You like a choo choo train. You got that locomotive
Had
going
to keep
now.
going. Had to keep going. Had to keep
Uh,
going. I will say this. I was told by so many different people, like, once you get your bachelor's, once you get your bachelor's, once you get your bachelor's, and you see the length of time it took me forever. Oh my God. I did not know that anything after that, it just come easy. Like, I ain't gonna say it come easy. I don't want to make it seem like, but once you put it here,
right,
it's done.
right.
It
It's
is
a done
done.
data.
It is done.
And the crazy thing, you say that, I remember when I got into the insurance industry,
Mhm.
and it was a guy that was training me. He was making like 600, $700,000 a year. He was like, man, listen. He said, when you promote your first person, he said it's like giving birth. I
Mhm.
was like, I don't know if it's giving birth. Like, I seen that. That looked pretty hard. But he was like, for the men side. He said, but once you squeeze the first one out, then the rest of them, they just start popping out. He called it the hopper. They start popping out the hopper. You know, and it seems like that's what you had. Like you were like, man, why stop now? Let me just keep going.
Might as well.
Cause
Might
the
as
tough
well.
part was over with.
The toughest was my bachelor's. That was
Right.
hard. That was really hard because at the time I had two younger kids. My mindset wasn't where it needed to be. Um, I think something my sister told me, because in the beginning it was like, oh, I got to do all the 100 and some hours of credits before I can get a degree. That just seems so far away. How am I going to be able to do that? And my sister told me, she said, you take one class at a time. What are you talking about? I got to take at least four. No, Misha, I'm not saying. I didn't get it. She said, no, whatever class you in at that time, that's the class you focus on. You take one class at a time. Stop overwhelming yourself looking at the huge picture and just focus on that one class. And I promise that's probably the best thing anybody could have ever said to me, because after that, it was just like a light bulb went off. Boop. And, and the rest is, you know,
You've
yeah.
been you've been rocking and rolling ever since
Been
then.
rocking and rolling ever since then. I received my master's degree June of 2020, and I received that master's in criminal justice with a concentration in child protection. And I started my second master's in January of this year.
Ooh, ooh, boy, you blazing the trail now. So now your daughters, like, they don't have no
They don't
excuse.
have a choice. They
You
don't have a
know,
choice. So and then that is something like, you have to set standards for your kids, because
right,
if you don't, then they, like, don't get me wrong, they can look at other people and
mhm,
use them as their role model. But if you set no standards for your kids, hey, it's right here in front of your face, you know. And my oldest will tell you, she probably knew more than she should have known at her age, as far as the struggles and the hard time. But she saw me work through it. She saw me
right,
get through it, and she saw me keep going. She never saw it. It never broke me.
right.
It was
Mm,
hard. Like they say, I may bend, but I ain't break. So
That's what I'm talking about. Ooh, boy, you got me ready to go. You know, you got me ready to go. I ain't even coaching football right now. I'm ready to go right now. You know, but man,
absolutely.
you absolutely right. Like you just dropped so many nuggets in this interview that people can pick them up and make a whole meal out of them.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, adversity, yes. Did you stop? No. You kept persevering through it. You know, the people around you, they help build your confidence and mold you
Absolutely.
up, you know. And then once you got that degree, like your confidence was sky high. It was through the roof,
Through
you
the roof.
know.
Through the
And
roof.
that's what the podcast is about, is sharing people's stories. You know, the confidence rules everything around me. And that's not being like cocky or anything like that. But in order
No.
to succeed, to receive and achieve success, man, you got to have a little bit of confidence going
Yeah.
on,
Oh yeah.
and the confidence to do. And that's what I kept hearing in your story, the confidence to do. You
Yeah.
know, you went from Lively to TCC to Chaplin to I can't even
It's
call
a
it.
lot of them. It's a lot of them.
Yeah, so you had a I'm not gonna quit mentality, and and you achieve your goal. So let me ask you
Yes.
this right here. Let me ask you this right here. We're finna get ready to come to a close. For that next generation that's coming through, you know, you got one daughter that's out of school, you got one that's in school. For that generation, both generations, the one that's out of school and the one that's coming through school, what advice would you give that generation about getting an education?
It's important. I don't care what nobody say. You have people that say, "Oh, you get a degree and you don't use it, or you still don't make a whole lot of money, but it's yours. You work hard for it. It nobody can never take it from you. Um, it's an achievement. It puts a stamp behind your name. You know, um, I know school is not for everybody, but I definitely feel like everybody should at least try. Everybody should at least try, because nobody can take that from you. Like I don't know what else to say besides that. It ain't like nobody giving it to you. You working for this, and it belongs to you. And I
Ooh,
say
I
don't
like
stop.
that. Oh, say that last part again.
I would say don't stop until you done.
Mm, I like all that there. Do not stop until you're doing. Be like the Energizer Rabbit. Keep going and going and going and achieve your goal. And in the
Yes,
words of Zig Ziglar, we'll see you at the top.
absolutely.
To all our viewers, please hit the subscribe and like button. Please share this podcast with friends, family. You know, share it on other platforms. You can find us. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple. You can find us at your wherever you get your other podcasts from, wherever you get your music from. You can also find us on there. And we want to also give a shout out to our LinkedIn family. You know, we got you. We up and rolling on LinkedIn. We on Instagram. We on Facebook. And we're on YouTube. You can check us out on YouTube at the Impact Media channel. We're building something over here. Let's ride out. God bless you.